Welcome to the channel Darkness in the Night. I'm Lynn, and this is the story of the trip that nearly cost me my life. A vacation that was supposed to be fun, but turned out to be a journey through the realm of the dead. That day, the five of us, me, Phong, Mai, Nam, and Thao, planned a trip to Thailand. None of us thought much of it. We were young, adventurous, and excited to try backpacking for the first time. I was eager to take photos and vlog the whole thing. Everyone joked, "Lynn's video will go viral for sure." I laughed, never imagining that I'd one day be too terrified to even turn that camera on again. We chose a remote village in northern Thailand, endless sugarcane fields. A few wooden stilt houses far from the city. The host was a middle-aged woman who spoke a little English. She told us, "Traditional Thai house, ancestors' spirits protect." We laughed it off. I remember clearly when we moved our things in. Phong said, "Hey, this place smells nice, like wood and incense." Thao whispered, "Yeah, but why is it so cold, even though it's blazing hot outside?" I teased, "Maybe because it's near the forest. The breeze feels good, right?" Nam carried his suitcase and joked, "Cool like this? Bet a ghost will sit next to us tonight to make it colder." No one knew that his joke would turn out to be an omen. That afternoon, we explored the village. The locals were kind, smiling softly, but when they heard where we were staying, a few exchanged looks and turned away. Mai frowned. "Why are they staring at us like that?" I brushed it off. "Probably because we're Vietnamese. Not many tourists come here." Still, I couldn't shake off a strange feeling. A little girl selling souvenirs tugged my hand and whispered something in Thai. I didn't understand, except for one word, phi asterisk, meaning ghost. That first night, we cooked instant noodles, played music, and laughed like we were home. Around 11 p.m., everyone went to bed. I slept beside Phong. Mai and Thao were in the next room, and Nam took the outer room alone. It was dark. The wind slipped through the window, and crickets chirped outside. Half asleep, I heard a faint scratching sound. At first, I thought it was a cat, but there were no cats here. The sound came again, longer this time, like someone dragging fingernails across wood. I nudged Phong. "Hey, did you hear that?" He mumbled, "What? Go back to sleep. It sounds like someone scratching the wall." He sat up, listening. Silence for a moment. Then asterisk scourge, scourge, scourge. Loud, right behind the headboard. He whispered, "Probably just rats." I held my breath. The sound came again, this time followed by slow, heavy breathing on the other side of the wall. My hands trembled as I clutched Phong's arm. Then, thud, something hit the ground outside the window. Phong turned on his phone flashlight, aiming it outside. Nothing, just swaying trees. I wanted to check, but Phong pulled me back. "Forget it, let's sleep. Big day tomorrow." I nodded, too scared to argue. We pulled the blanket over our heads. Through the thin wall, I could still hear that shallow breathing, as if someone was lying right outside. The next morning, I saw them, long, deep scratch marks on the wooden wall, shaped like human fingers. Thao screamed, "What the hell is this?" Nam forced a laugh. "Maybe stray cats." Mai's voice shook. "What cat can reach that high? And those marks, they're too long." I stayed silent. Later, the host came by with some fruit. I showed her the marks. Her face instantly changed. She set the basket down, muttered a prayer, and said a few quick words in Thai. I only caught a few. Spirit, curse, don't touch box. We were confused. She shook her head and hurried off. Nam chuckled nervously. "She's probably trying to scare us so we don't mess up her house." But that night, things got even stranger. Around 9 that night, while we were chatting, I noticed one of the wooden floorboards was slightly loose. Curious by nature, I poked at it. Beneath the plank was a small wooden box, old, dusty, tied with a red string, with strange Thai carvings on it. I exclaimed, "Hey, look, there's an old box under here." Mai frowned. "Don't open random stuff. Lin, haven't you watched enough horror movies? Fong laughed. Relax, it's probably some souvenir or something. I hesitated for a second, then untied the red string. Inside were several faded gold talismans, an old photo of a man dressed like a monk, and a small notebook filled with dense Thai writing. Thou shivered. Put it back, Lin, that thing looks creepy. I was about to close the box when a sudden gust of wind blew through the house. The lights flickered violently, then went out completely. Outside, a long, piercing wail echoed through the darkness, like someone screaming into the night. Fong shouted, "Shut the door." Nam rushed to lock the main entrance. The moment the door slammed shut, bang, the box in my hands burst open. The talismans flew out, spinning wildly in the air before falling scattered across the floor. My whole body went cold, and in that split second, I saw it, a figure standing just beyond the porch. Pitch black, faceless, with long, tangled hair draping over its shoulders. I couldn't even scream, my throat locked up. Fong grabbed my shoulders. "What's wrong, Lin? You look pale." I pointed toward the porch, but when he turned, there was nothing there, just thick, suffocating darkness. No one slept that night. Thou sobbed quietly. Mai clutched her prayer beads. Nam sat frozen, staring at the door. Fong tried to calm us. "It's just the wind, guys, don't freak out." But deep down, I knew something had awakened in that house. As I lay still, I heard footsteps crunching on the roof. Then came the scratching again, followed by faint whispers blending into the wind, like someone speaking warped Thai right outside the walls. And then, right next to my ear, a voice whispered clearly, "You shouldn't have opened the box." My heart stopped. I shot up, gasping for air. Everyone else seemed half asleep, unaware. The room was silent, dimly lit by the flickering lamp about to die out. I hugged my blanket tightly and glanced toward the window. Someone was standing there, face pressed against the glass. I screamed, the sound tearing through the night. I screamed, my voice cracked and echoed through the dark house. Everyone jumped up, flashlights flickering wildly. Fong grabbed my shoulders, panicked. "What happened, Lin? Bad dream?" I trembled. Outside the window, someone was there. Nam rushed over and shone his light outside. Only tree shadows stretched long across the ground. No one, not a sound. But on the glass frame, a wet handprint still glistened, 5 twisted marks like claws. Thou clutched her chest, gasping, "I want to go back to the hotel in town. I'm not staying here another night." Mai sniffled. "Yeah, this house feels wrong." Fong sighed sharply. "It's too late. The forest road's dangerous at night. We'll leave in the morning." I stayed quiet, my heart still pounding. The musty, bitter scent from the wooden box lingered in the air. I glanced toward it, the lid gaped open. Empty. The talismans lay scattered, and the photo of the monk-faced man was flipped upright. His eyes seemed to stare straight at me. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every so often, faint footsteps creaked across the wooden floor. Each time I turned, no one was there. I squeezed my eyes shut, telling myself it was my imagination. But when I finally drifted off, a whisper came right beside my ear. "Lin." I snapped my eyes open. Fong lay next to me, fast asleep. The voice came again, closer this time. "Lin, open the door." I clutched my blanket, my heart pounding. Outside the window came a soft tapping sound, like nails scratching the glass. I froze. The sound grew harsher. Then a warped voice, half Thai, half Vietnamese, hissed, "Return it." I sat up, trembling, scanning the room. Everyone else was still asleep. I shook Fong awake, but he just mumbled and turned over. My eyes darted to the corner. The wooden box was shaking slightly, as if something inside was breathing. I staggered back. The lid burst open, a cold gust hitting my face. The desk lamp flickered, shadows stretched across the walls. Then, a blackened hand reached out, claws scraping the floor before vanishing. I collapsed and screamed. Fong leapt up and held me tight. What's wrong, Lin? There's nothing there. I pointed at the box. Trembling. It opened, something came out. Nam and Thou ran over, glancing around, confused. There's nothing. Lin, you must have been dreaming. Tears rolled down my cheeks. I'm not dreaming. The group exchanged uneasy looks. Mai's voice quivered. Maybe we should talk to someone in the village tomorrow. Ask about this house. Fong nodded. All right, for now, tie the box shut and we'll deal with it in the morning. He used the old red string to bind the lid tightly and placed it in the corner. I tried not to look, but the man's eyes in the photo still seemed to follow me. The next morning, gray clouds hung heavy over the mountains. We were exhausted, no one touched breakfast. Fong asked the landlady about the house, but she avoided the question, muttering only, "You shouldn't stay here. This house is cursed." I pleaded, "What curse? Please tell us." She just looked at me with deep, sorrowful eyes, whispered a short prayer at the doorway, left some incense and fruit, and walked away. Nam groaned. "Great, she just drops that on us and leaves." Mai said softly, "Let's find someone in the village who speaks Thai and English." Thou clasped her hands. "There's an old woman by the gate who sells incense. She might know." So we went. The narrow path twisted between rice fields and dark clusters of trees. The sky hung low, rain threatening. The air felt heavy, pressing on our chests. The old incense seller sat beneath a thatched awning, her white hair tangled, eyes cloudy but sharp. When she saw us, she nodded slowly. I spoke a few broken English words and showed her the monk's photo. The instant she saw it, she recoiled, face draining of color. She muttered rapidly in Thai. I caught fragments. Sorcerer, vengeful spirit, broken ritual, forbidden house. Then she drew a circle on the ground, placed an eye symbol in the center, and said hoarsely, "Whoever opens the box will be followed by the spirit of the sorcerer. Only by returning it and atoning can you be free." A chill ran through me. Atoning? For what sin? She didn't answer, just stared deep into my eyes, then pressed a worn paper talisman into my hand. "Tonight, if you hear your name, don't answer. If you see someone familiar, don't go near." We headed back. Rain poured hard, wind howling through the bamboo. When we entered the house, it felt different, no longer the scent of wood, but a metallic, rotting smell. Nam muttered, "Why's it so cold? It's midday but feels like dusk." Thou rubbed her arms. "I feel sick." Fong said, "Let's rest. Tonight we'll figure out how to get out of here." I sat by the door, clutching the talisman tightly. The curtain fluttered in the wind. Outside, someone stood in the yard, tall, thin, hair hanging down. Thinking it was the landlady, I called out, "Ma'am?" The figure didn't reply, only tilted its head. Its soaked hair dripped steadily, and beneath it, there was no shadow. I stepped back. "Fong, someone's out there." Everyone ran over. Fong shone his flashlight. The yard was empty. Only a long wet trail led right up to the door. Mai stammered, "Could it be her?" Fong stayed silent. Nam swallowed hard. "I've been hearing footsteps circling the house." Thou began to sob. I clenched the talisman tighter, my mouth dry. Thunder roared outside. The door burst open. A gust of wind swept in, scattering the yellow talismans from the box. They spiraled upward, clinging to the wall, forming a human face. We froze. Its eyes opened, hollow and black. Then a voice echoed from beneath the floorboards. "Who dares take what is mine?" Fong shouted. "Run!" We dashed to the porch, but the front door wouldn't budge, as if someone was holding it shut from outside. Laughter drifted around us. The wind howled. Nam shoved the door with all his strength until it finally gave way. We spilled into the rain, sprinting into the muddy road. I looked back, and in a flash of lightning, I saw it, a dark figure standing inside the house, holding the wooden box, smiling crookedly. I don't know how far we ran. The village road blurred in the storm, mud splashing underfoot, my heart hammered, and even from a distance, I could still see that house flickering in the rain, as if something inside was watching us leave. We found an old roadside hut and collapsed. Drenched and shaking, no one spoke. Phong gasped. "Tomorrow, we're leaving this place. For good." I buried my face in my hands. Dizzy and weak, deep down, I knew something had followed us. The wind howled through the hut. And then, a whisper. Right behind me. "Lin, you opened the box?" I spun around. No one was there. Only the paper talisman in my hand, now singed at the edge. Dash dash. The rain still hadn't stopped. Outside, the village was eerily silent. The only sound the steady drip of water hitting the thatched roof. Our group huddled close around a single flashlight, its dim beam flickering across pale, terrified faces. I clutched the half-burnt talisman in my trembling hand. Did anyone hear that? Someone just called my name. Phong looked up, his voice hoarse. "There's no one here, Lin. It's just the wind." I stared at him, my eyes wet. "The wind doesn't call my name." Nam cut in, his face drained of color. "I looked outside earlier, saw someone walking through the rice field. But it wasn't a villager. Tall, too tall, and its feet didn't touch the ground." Mai buried her face in her hands, voice trembling. "Stop it, please stop. I can't take it anymore." The air inside the hut felt suffocating, heavy like stone. I tried to calm myself and glanced out through the rain. In the distance, I could just make out the wooden house we'd fled from, a few hundred meters away. A faint, flickering light still glowed inside, as if someone was pacing back and forth. Then I heard it, a faint, raspy breathing right behind me. "Lin, you forgot to lock the box?" I spun around. The flashlight slipped from my hand and went out. The room plunged into darkness. Thou broke down sobbing. "Who said that? Who's there?" Phong hissed. "Quiet." Footsteps scraped across the floorboards. Something crawled across the roof, slow, dragging, scratching sounds. Dust fell from above, landing on my shoulder. The air filled with the metallic stench of rot. I froze. "It's here, Phong. It followed us." He grabbed my hand, pulling me close. "Don't be afraid, I've got you." But before he finished speaking, a blackened hand reached down from the thatched roof and clamped onto Nam's shoulder. He screamed, thrashing. Long claws tore through his shirt, and blood splattered bright red. Mai shrieked. Phong swung the flashlight back on, its beam cutting through the chaos, but there was nothing there. Only torn straw and a smear of blood. Nam collapsed, panting, eyes wide. It grabbed me. I saw its face, no eyes, just two black holes. I clutched my head, my pulse pounding so loud I couldn't breathe. The wind moaned through the cracks in the hut, sounding almost like crying. Mai trembled violently. "I can't stay here. I don't care if it's raining. I'm leaving." She bolted outside, slipped in the mud. Phong chased after her, pulling her back. I turned. Thou sat in a corner, knees to her chest, mumbling to herself. "Thou, what's wrong?" She looked up slowly, her eyes sunken. "It talked to me, said it misses you. Lin." A chill crawled down my spine. Who misses me?" Thou smiled, a twisted, broken smile. "The man in the box. He said if you go back to the house, he'll spare us." I stumbled backward, bumping into a pillar. You heard that in your head?" She didn't answer, her empty gaze fixed on something invisible, lips moving like she was speaking to a ghost. Phong rushed forward, shaking her. "Thou, wake up." She laughed once, and then fell limp, eyes wide open. In her palm was a strange symbol, drawn in blood, curving like an ancient charm. Nam groaned, clutching his shoulder. "We need to leave, now, back to town." Tears mixed with rain as I grabbed Fong's hand. "Yes, let's go, now." We stumbled through the muddy path, rain stinging our faces. Lightning flashed, and for an instant, we saw dark figures standing across the rice fields. Dozens of them, motionless, watching. Mai screamed. Are those villagers? Why are they just standing there? No one answered. Fong dragged me forward. Each time lightning struck, the figures were closer, only a few feet away now. Their faces pale, their eyes hollow, lips tinted blue. Nam slipped and cried out. I turned to help him, but he was gone. Only a deep groove in the mud, as if someone had been pulled underground. Nam, I screamed. No reply, just bubbling mud, then silence. Mai fell to her knees, sobbing. It took him, it took him. Fong pulled me away, ignoring her screams. We ran toward the hills, desperate for higher ground. But when we reached the forest's edge, I froze. A figure blocked the path. It was the old incense seller. Lightning illuminated her wrinkled face, her clouded eyes fixed on me. She raised a trembling hand, her voice rough and hollow. It's too late, child, it has already chosen. I backed away, shaking. What are you talking about? Who has? The old woman pointed at me, her hand trembling violently. It's following you now. I felt dizzy. Fong grabbed my arm, trying to turn us back, but ahead was nothing but dense forest. Shrouded in thick fog, the old woman stepped backward into the rain and vanished. A whisper slid around my ear. Lin, go back to the house. If you don't, you'll all die. I clamped my hands over my ears and screamed. Stop it, I'm not listening to you. Fong pulled me close. Calm down, Lin, it's okay. But before he could finish, a scream echoed through the rain, Mai's voice. Lin, Fong, Nam's back. We spun around, lightning flashed, and there he was. Nam, trudging slowly through the storm. His clothes were shredded, face smeared with mud, but his eyes, hollow, blank, no pupils. Mai ran toward him, sobbing in relief. Oh my God, Nam, you're alive. I shouted. Don't go near him. Too late. Nam grabbed her hand. In the next flash of lightning, I saw his skin, pitch black, nails twisted and long like claws. Mai screamed as her body was yanked backward, dragged into the rice field, her voice drowned beneath the rain. Fong pulled me and shouted, his voice breaking. Into the forest. Lin, now. We ran. Branches whipped our faces, rain soaking through every layer. Behind us came the wet slap of footsteps following, too close. Too fast. I could smell it now, the heavy stench of decay, thick as blood. Through the dark, I spotted a small stone shrine ahead. Fong dragged me inside, both of us panting. We'll stay here till morning, he gasped. I leaned against the wall, heart pounding. Rain dripped from the roof in slow, rhythmic drops. I looked up, at the worn statue inside the shrine. The face was eroded by time, but its eyes seemed to glow faintly. Then, a freezing hand touched my shoulder. I jolted, spinning around. It wasn't Fong, it was Nam, drenched, grinning, his mouth stretched unnaturally wide. I screamed. Fong swung the flashlight, but the beam hid nothing. He turned to me, pale. There's no one here, Lin. Tears stung my eyes. No, I swear, it touched me. From the statue came a low moan. The crack on its forehead oozed a thick, black liquid. And there, on the floor, the wooden box lay wide open, its lid slightly ajar. I stumbled back, legs trembling. Then a voice, my own voice, whispered from somewhere in the dark. Lin, you opened it. Now you have to close it. The wind roared. The flashlight flickered and died. In the suffocating darkness, I could hear only my heartbeat, the soft laughter circling the shrine, and a whisper so cold it made my blood freeze. The game has only just begun. Lin. Dash. I woke up in a freezing chill, the kind that cuts straight through bone. When I opened my eyes, the sky was a dull gray, and thick fog rolled across the ground. The wind hissed through the trees, carrying the damp scent of earth and distant burning fields. I tried to sit up. My clothes were soaked and caked with dried mud. Everything was silent. No sound of Fong, no Mai, no Nam or Thou anywhere. I shouted. Fong, Mai, anybody there? Only my own echo came back, faint and warped, as if someone was mimicking me from far away. Anybody there? My heart pounded. I staggered to my feet. The ground was covered with messy footprints, some smeared, and long drag marks, like someone had been pulled away. Ahead lay a narrow path cutting through the forest, overgrown with wet grass glistening under the mist. Suddenly, I remembered the wooden box. My hand went to my pocket, empty. The old woman's talisman had turned to ash. I collapsed to the ground, dizzy. Where am I? What just happened? A rustle came from the bushes to my right. I froze. My chest tightened. A dark human hand reached out through the leaves, black and slick, and then a familiar face appeared. Fong. I jumped up and ran toward him. Oh my God, it's you. He staggered, clothes torn, eyes bloodshot. Lin, you're alive? Tears streamed down my face. Is it just us now? He nodded weakly. Yeah, I saw Nam get dragged into the rice field. Mai vanished. It's just you and me left. I choked on my breath. We had to get out of here. Fong glanced around, his voice low. Remember what the old woman said? We need to find the female shaman in the next village. She's the only one who can break the curse. I nodded. But where's the village? Do you even know the way? He shook his head. No, but we follow the sun. Always toward the light. I looked up, the sun was gone. Swallowed by thick black clouds. No direction, no warmth. We kept walking. The forest grew denser. The air filled with the buzzing of cicadas, and something else, like a faint breath right behind us. Every few steps, I felt eyes watching. Every time I turned, there was only fog. Fong squeezed my hand. Don't look back, just keep walking. I shivered. But, do you hear the footsteps? I do. Ignore them. The footsteps stopped. Then a hoarse voice whispered right behind us. Lin. I froze. It was Thou's voice. I spun around. She stood in the mist, hair hanging over her face, clothes soaked in mud. Her skin was pale, her mouth curved into a broken smile. Lin, you left me. I stepped back, trembling. Thou, I thought you were dead. I didn't know. She took a step forward, dragging her feet across the dirt. It hurt. Lin, why didn't you save me? I screamed, clutching my head. Go away, don't come near me. Fong grabbed my arm, pulling me as we ran. Laughter echoed behind us, long and shrill, blending with the wailing wind. Branches whipped against my skin, but I didn't dare stop. After what felt like forever, we stumbled into an open clearing. In the center stood an ancient tree, massive, its trunk wide enough for several people to wrap their arms around. Strange symbols were carved deep into the bark. Fong gasped for breath. Let's rest a minute. I leaned against the tree, exhausted, my eyes half closing, but before I could drift off, I heard someone breathing heavily beside my ear. I turned, no one there. On the tree trunk, right where I'd been leaning, new words were freshly carved into the wood, the cuts still raw and wet. Not everyone leaves this forest, asterisk. A chill shot down my spine. Fong, look. He frowned, eyes narrowing. Who carved that? Dash. Before I could say another word, the distant sound of a wooden bell echoed, talk, 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 followed by chanting in Thai. Fong and I exchanged a terrified glance, then ran toward the sound. Through the trees, we found a small hut by a stream. In front of it sat a frail old woman, burning incense. The air was thick with the mingling scent of smoke and dry grass. She looked up, her voice raspy. You too came from that cursed house, didn't you? I nodded, tears spilling down my cheeks. Please, help us. Something is following us. The old woman rose slowly, pulling a red string from her sleeve. That thing won't leave easily. It's already chosen the girl who opened the box. Fong stepped forward, desperate. There must be a way to save her. Tell me how. The woman's eyes hardened as she looked at me. If she wants to live, she must return to where it began. The box must be sealed again, with her own blood. I froze. My blood? The woman nodded. Every curse demands a price. If you refuse, the spirit will merge with you completely. And once that happens, there's no saving you. Fong gripped my hand tightly. No, don't listen to her. But the old woman shook her head, her voice like wind slicing through bamboo. Believe me or don't, but when night falls, it will come for you. My lips trembled. If I go back to that house, will you help me? I'll prepare the ritual here, the woman said, but you must go alone. Fong protested, his voice breaking. No, I'm going with her. The woman snapped. If you follow, both of you will die. I turned to Fong, tears blurring my vision. Let me go. I opened it. I have to be the one to close it. He shook his head violently. No, Lin, I can't let you go alone. The old woman stepped back into the hut, her voice fading behind the smoke. Choose, stay together and die, or send her alone and have a chance to live. I trembled, staring at Fong. Please, trust me, I'll come back. He pulled me close, arms trembling. I'll wait for you here. If you're not back soon, I'll come find you. I nodded, wiped my tears, and turned away. Behind me, the chanting grew faint, the forest darkened, and the wind began to sound like weeping. I looked toward the village, toward that cursed house, and my heart sank. This time, I wasn't just going to seal the box. I was walking straight into the heart of my fear. And somewhere in the darkness, I felt it waiting, smiling. The sky fell into night as if someone had pulled a curtain over the world. Thick black clouds smothered the moon. I walked through the empty village path, my bare feet sinking into cold mud, every step echoing with a wet, sickly sound. Wind whispered through the bamboo, their leaves rustling like hushed voices. Ahead, the old house loomed again, dim light flickering from within, as though it had been waiting all along. I clutched the red string the shaman had given me and took a slow, trembling breath. You can do this, Lin, just close the box, that's all. But the moment my foot touched the wooden porch, a childlike giggle broke the silence. The door creaked open by itself, long and slow. Inside, the air was icy. The smell was thick, mold, smoke, and something metallic, like burnt incense mixed with fresh blood. I stepped in, whispering, "Is anyone here?" No answer, only the sound of my own footsteps and another set, faintly echoing behind mine. The living room looked exactly as before. The wooden box sat in the middle of the floor, its lid slightly open. The talismans that once covered the walls were scattered across the ground. On the table, the photo of the man in monk's robes still lay face up, his painted eyes watching me. I walked toward it, pulling a small knife from my sleeve. She said, "It has to be sealed with my blood." I sliced my finger. Blood welled up, bright red, as the first drop hit the box. The lights flickered violently. The wind howled through the cracks like a chorus of wailing voices. My hands shook as I reached to close the lid, but before I could, something yanked my arm down hard. A deep male voice whispered right beside my ear, cold, gravelly, and furious. "Give me back my soul." I screamed and fell backward. The box burst open, and a wave of black smoke shot out, twisting and swirling until it formed into the shape of a man. Through the haze, a charred face appeared, the face of the shaman, his skin burned, his eyes glowing red. He let out a low, rasping laugh. "So, you freed me, and now you want to lock me back in?" I crawled backward, terrified, my eyes locked on his. "I didn't mean to. I didn't know. Not knowing is still a sin." His voice boomed like thunder, rattling the windows. I stood up, gripping a knife, my hand shaking violently. "I just want us to be left alone." He drifted closer, each step silent, his feet not touching the ground. "Peace? Then trade places with me." I shouted. "No." He raised his hand, and the black smoke surged toward me, wrapping around my body like ice. My vision blurred. Everything began to twist and distort. When I opened my eyes, I was still inside the house, but it wasn't night anymore. Sunlight poured through the windows. My friends were there, laughing like nothing had happened. Mai was cooking noodles. Nam was laying out Uno cards. Thao was taking selfies, and Fong sat beside me, smiling gently. I gasped, overwhelmed. "You guys, you're alive?" Mai giggled. "Of course we are. What were you dreaming about last night? Yelling like crazy?" I stammered. "It wasn't a dream. Someone died. There was a ghost." Nam chuckled. "Lin, you're too jumpy. Everything's fine here." I looked around. The house was bright, peaceful, almost too peaceful. Then I saw it. A dark red streak running down the wall, blood. I froze. "Hey, guys, look at that." No one turned around. They kept chatting and laughing, as if they couldn't hear me. I walked up to the wall and touched the stain. It was still warm. When I turned back, my blood ran cold. They were gone. The house was dark again, silent. On the table lay 5 photographs, perfectly arranged. Each one showed a face, mine, and my friends. In my photo, the eyes were hollowed out. The shaman's voice echoed, deep and guttural. "See? It was all an illusion. Their souls belong to me." Tears streamed down my face. "Please, I beg you, let them go." "You want to save them?" he hissed. "Then give me your light." "What do you mean?" "It means, let me live inside you." I trembled, pressing my back against the wall. "Never." His laughter filled the room, cold, shrill, endless. The photos rose into the air, spinning wildly, the faces inside them twisted, screaming silently. I gritted my teeth, slashed my palm with the knife, and let my blood drip onto the box. "Here's my blood, I'm sealing you back." He roared in rage. The smoke swirled violently, diving straight into my chest. The wind howled. The lid of the box slammed open, then shut with a deafening clack. The house shook violently, then went still. I collapsed to the floor, gasping, trembling. The air smelled of iron and smoke. Before me, the wooden box sat closed once more. On its lid, a bloody handprint, my own, had dried into the shape of a red talisman. I broke down in tears, whispering, "It's over, it's finally over." But then, knock, knock, knock. 3 slow taps from inside the box. And a voice, soft, familiar, whispered right beside my ear. "Lin, I'm inside you now." My eyes widened, my heart stopped. The lights flickered on, a photo fell from the table, flipping face up. It was me, smiling, but my eyes were black, empty, no longer human. I don't remember how long I was unconscious. When I opened my eyes, daylight was streaming through the window, blinding, yet strangely cold. I was lying on the floor, my head pounding like it had been split open. The wooden box was still there, silent and still, but as I looked at it, an odd feeling stirred inside me, not fear, something closer to familiarity. I whispered to myself, "Did I really do it?" A voice answered softly inside my head. "Yes, Lin, you did well." I jolted up, glancing around. No one was there. The curtains fluttered slightly, making a faint rustling sound. "Who's there?" I muttered. No reply, only the sound of gentle breathing right beside my neck. When I stepped outside, the sunlight had dimmed. Fong and Nam were by the motorbike, trying to fix something, their faces pale and tired. Thao and Mai were boiling water nearby, looking equally drained. Fong saw me and ran over immediately. "Lin, where were you? I looked for you all night." I smiled faintly, trying to sound normal. "I just went to find the box. I sealed it again." Fong froze. "What box?" I stayed silent. His eyes searched mine, studying every flicker on my face. Nam frowned. "Dude, look at her. She's white as a sheet." Thao placed a hand on my forehead. "She's burning up. Maybe she caught something?" I brushed her off sharply. "I'm fine. Don't touch me." The air turned heavy. Everyone stared at me. My throat felt dry. And when I spoke again, my voice sounded rough, deeper, almost like it wasn't mine. Fong grabbed my arm gently, trying to calm me. Lin, tell me, what happened in that house? I looked him straight in the eyes, then suddenly laughed. Do you believe in ghosts, Fong? He went pale. Lin, don't say that. I'm serious. If you saw one, what would you do? He didn't answer. And then, in my head, his voice came again, the shaman's, low and venomous. Ask them, test them, see who dares defy you. I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to block it out, but the more I resisted, the louder it became. They don't truly care for you. They'll abandon you soon enough. I clutched my head, stumbling backward, both hands pressing over my ears. Shut up. Everyone jumped. Mai gasped, panicking. Lin, what's wrong with you? I spun around, eyes burning hot. I told you, stay away from me. Nam whispered to Fong, tense. This isn't right, man. Thou gripped Mai's arm, terrified. Maybe we should call that shaman woman. Fong snapped. No, I'll take her myself. He stepped closer, reaching out, but the second he touched me, he jerked back. My skin was freezing cold. His voice trembled. You're not Lin, are you? I smiled faintly. Of course I am, I'm still your Lin. But behind my reflection in his eyes, the shaman's shadow loomed faintly over me. That night, Fong didn't sleep. He sat beside me, watching. I lay still, eyes open, unblinking. The whispers never stopped. The shaman's voice dripped into my mind like poison. I'm inside you now, Lin, they're nothing but prey. I whispered back, trembling. I don't want to hurt them. But you owe me, he hissed. You opened the door, you woke me. In return, I'll only take one thing, the lives of those around you. I curled up, crying silently. Please, don't. Just let me do it, he murmured. You don't need to know. I screamed inside my head, but my body refused to obey. My hand slowly reached for the knife beside the pillow. Fong heard the sound and shot up. Lin, what are you doing? I startled, dropping the knife. The shaman's laugh echoed inside me, mocking. So weak, let me help you. My body convulsed. I collapsed onto the bed, trembling violently. My mouth opened against my will. Get out of me. Fong grabbed me, pulling me into his arms. Lin, hold on, I'm right here. I won't let you go. But my eyes had already turned a deep crimson. I could hear his laughter clearly, and the sound of Fong's heartbeat pounding in my ears, each beat, each thump, like sparks feeding the fire inside me. Outside, the wind roared. The window banged against the frame. The papaya tree in the backyard bent violently. Through the gusts, a voice hissed. Lin. I turned toward the door. It wasn't his voice. It was a girl's, sounded like Mai. I pulled away from Fong's grasp. Moving like someone sleepwalking, the door creaked open. Mai was standing there, trembling, clutching a talisman in her hand. Lin, you have to wake up, she said. The sorceress told me, you must keep this charm with you. I slowed my steps, my eyes cold and empty. You care about me, Mai? Why, yeah, I'm scared you'll get hurt. You're scared for me, or for yourself? Mai stepped back, tears spilling down her cheeks. Lin, don't say that, I'm your friend. I laughed softly. Friend? He told me there's no such thing as a real friend for me anymore. I snatched the talisman from her hand and threw it to the ground. The wind howled, and the charm burst into flame. The firelight lit up my face and in my eyes. The shadow of the sorcerer was smiling. Mai screamed and ran back inside. Fong rushed out, wrapping his arms around me from behind, holding me tight. Lin, wake up, please, he begged. I struggled, my voice hoarse. Let go of me, you don't understand. I do, just listen to me. You're Lin, you're the woman I love. His words pierced through the darkness clouding my mind. The thing inside me roared in fury. Silence. My head felt like it was splitting apart. Half of me wanted to kill Fong. The other half wanted to collapse into his arms and cry. Then his voice screamed inside me again. Kill him, Lin. He's the last thread tying you to the mortal world. Cut it, and you'll finally be mine. I trembled, gripping the knife. Fong stared straight into my eyes, unflinching. If that's how it must be, then let me die in your hands. I froze. Tears streamed down my face. The knife slipped and clattered to the floor. I screamed, a raw, tearing sound, as if my soul was being ripped apart. The flames in the yard flared, then went out. I collapsed. My body burned hot, my breath shallow. Inside my mind, his voice faded away. You will regret? I looked around. Fong held me close, his body shaking. It's over, Lin, it's over. I whispered, my voice faint. No, not yet. He's not gone. Inside the house, the wooden box began to tremble. Its lid shifted, cracking open just a little. From the narrow gap, a thin wisp of black smoke seeped out, snaking along the ground, slowly, toward my. Who was hiding behind the door? The next morning, sunlight filtered weakly through the window, but it couldn't chase away the chill lingering inside the house. The air was heavy, thick with the breath of the night before. I sat on the floor, my hand still resting on the wooden box. Fong sat across from me, eyes red and wary, as if afraid to move too close. Lin, are you okay? He asked softly, his voice trembling. I nodded, forcing my voice to sound steady. Yeah, I'm fine. But my eyes never left the door. In the corner of the room, Mai stood still, arms wrapped around her chest, eyes half closed. She was trembling slightly, staring at me, but something about her was off. Mai, what's wrong? I asked, trying to stay calm. She took a hesitant step forward, her voice raspy. Lin, I can see someone inside your head. A pulse of pain throbbed behind my eyes. The sorcerer's voice echoed in my mind. Do you like it? He's chosen you. I clenched my teeth, stepping back. No, I don't want this. Fong rushed over, grabbing my hand. Lin, listen to me, just stay calm. But Mai shrank back, her voice quivering. We shouldn't be here. The window rattled again. A cold draft swept through the room, carrying with it the faint stench of burnt smoke. My heart pounded. Then, a soft laugh echoed from above, from the ceiling itself. Welcome back, Lin. I whipped around. The room was empty, but on the wall, my own shadow flickered, moving, as if it were watching me from within. No, I whispered, clutching my head. Fong tried to reassure me. Lin, it's okay. It's just your imagination. But I knew it wasn't. I could feel him, close, whispering cold words like ice into my ear. Everything belongs to me now. Lin, you opened the door. There's no going back. I stumbled backward, bumping into a chair. Fong, I'm scared. He placed a trembling hand on my shoulder. I know, I'm scared too, but I'm here with you. A soft breath stirred near Mai. I turned and saw her standing still, eyes shut, lips moving, whispering to someone unseen. Mai, what are you doing? I asked, voice shaking. She turned toward me, her mouth twisting into a crooked smile. I can hear him, inside my head. Who? I shouted. Him, she rasped, retreating a step. He says, he wants to play a new game. A wave of cold ran through me. My chest tightened, breathing shallow. The sorcerer's voice echoed again inside me. Do you enjoy it now? Those closest to you will become my prey. One by one. No, I screamed, gripping Fong's hand. I won't let that happen. Fong's eyes darted to Mai. She needs help. We have to do something. But as he stepped forward, Mai suddenly convulsed. Her eyes flew open, pitch black, like bottomless pits. She staggered back, then spoke in a voice that wasn't hers. Leave, none of you will escape. Fong froze, face pale as paper. I clutched his arm, desperate. Fong, you have to believe me. I'm still me. But inside, his voice hissed louder. You are me, there's no one else. I could feel him creeping through me, taking over piece by piece. My vision blurred, my mind spinning. I screamed until my throat burned. but my body no longer obeyed. Outside, the wind howled through the yard. Leaves scraped against the walls. Insects shrieked in the grass. I stumbled out, seeing a wisp of black smoke slithering along the ground toward the kitchen, toward my, you have to stay calm, I shouted. But she stepped back, her voice no longer her own. I'm already inside you, now it's your turn to feel real fear. My blood ran cold. I backed into Fong's arms. His voice broke as he whispered, Lin, I know you're fighting, don't stop. Tears mixed with the morning drizzle on my face. I don't want to lose them. I don't want to lose anyone. But inside, his laughter thundered. No one can save you. The whole yard darkened. Shadows of trees, of people or spirits, blended together. Every step I took, the black smoke curled tighter around my feet, pulling me toward the darkness. Fong clung to me, shaking. Lin, listen to me. Stay awake. Stay with me. I'll get us out. I turned toward Mai. She stood motionless, her eyes like twin abysses. He was using her as a bridge. My heart twisted in pain. I whispered, What do I do? What can I do? A cold wind swept through, carrying a whisper. One wrong move, and everything will be mine. I froze. The wooden box still sat in the yard, its lid trembling. I took a deep breath, my voice trembling but firm. I won't let that happen. Fong gripped my hand tightly. Then let me lead. I won't leave you. I stared down at the box, into the swirling black eyes within the smoke. I knew then, the real battle had just begun. Outside, the morning fog thickened, trees bent under invisible weight, and through the whispering mist came a voice, low and taunting. Lin, there's no way back. And in that pale morning light, I felt it. The darkness wasn't just around me anymore. It was inside me, slowly taking over my soul. I stood beside the wooden box, my heart pounding wildly. Fog still blanketed the yard, the trees swaying and whispering like unseen voices circling around us. Fong stayed close, his hand gripping mine tightly. Lin, you have to trust me, okay? I nodded, my voice trembling. I'm trying. But his voice echoed inside my head again, low and taunting. You're too weak. Let go, let me take control. I shut my eyes and held my breath. My body no longer felt like my own, yet a small part of me still wanted to protect my friends. No, I won't let you hurt them, I whispered. Suddenly, the black smoke in the yard twisted violently, spinning until it formed a face, Mai's face. She stood there, her eyes hollow, no longer human. Mai, I called softly, my voice shaking. I'm not. Her voice wavered, part hers, part his. Fong pulled me back. Lin, don't go near her. But I couldn't stop myself. I stepped toward Mai, reaching out my hand. The moment I touched her, she flinched. Then a faint light flickered in her eyes. I could feel it. Part of Mai was still inside. You're still here, I whispered. Help me, save me, she gasped weakly. I bit my lip, trembling, and grabbed the red string the sorceress had given me, wrapping it tightly around my wrist. I'll try my best. The black smoke roared, swirling around us, trying to consume me. I took a deep breath, focusing on the image of Mai in my heart. His voice hissed again. Let go, and let me own you. No, I screamed. I am me. I raised my hand, gripping the red string as warmth surged through my body. The smoke writhed violently, circling me, screaming in a deep, guttural rage. Behind me, Fong's voice trembled but firm. Lin, you can do it. I opened my eyes, staring into Mai's. A faint light shimmered again. I could feel him resisting, fighting me, but the red string's power held, just enough to pull Mai back. A scream echoed across the yard. You will never defeat me. The black smoke shot upward, then was sucked violently back into the box. I slammed the lid shut as the air stilled. Mai collapsed to the ground, gasping for breath. Lin, she whispered, trembling. I pulled her into my arms, heart racing. It's okay now, I've got you. Fong stepped closer, breathing hard. Is it over? I glanced at the box. Uneasy. No, he's still inside me. But she's safe. Mai looked up at me, tears blurring her eyes. Thank you, Lin. No, I have to keep him contained, I said softly, my body shaking. We all sat around the wooden box in silence. The fog thickened again, the wind whispering through the leaves. I knew the darkness hadn't truly left, but at least, we still had each other. Fong placed his hand on my shoulder. Lin, I won't let you face this alone. I nodded, swallowing back my tears. I know, but I have to fight from within. Mai murmured weakly. I'll help you, Lin. I smiled faintly. The warmth of friendship, the fragile spark of hope, began to push back the whispers inside me. But just as we stood to leave the yard, the wooden box trembled. From within, the black smoke stirred again, forming a shadowy hand that reached out. The sorcerer's voice rumbled darkly. You think you've won, but this isn't over? I inhaled deeply, clutching the red string, eyes locked on Mai and Fong. I know, and I won't let him take you. Fong tightened his grip on my hand. Then we'll face him together. The fog still hung thick, trees swaying in the dim light, but this time, I felt something different. No more fear, only determination. I pressed my lips together and stepped toward the box, my gaze steady. This was where the real fight began. That morning, the sky was a dull gray. The entire village was wrapped in fog, the smell of damp earth thick and suffocating. I sat by the porch, staring blankly at the wooden box lying in the middle of the yard. It was still, but I knew he was still there. Fong sat beside me, his hand gripping mine tightly. Lin, are you tired? I shook my head slightly. I'm fine, but I can still hear him, faint, like he's waiting. Mai stepped out from the house, her face hollow and pale. I dreamed that he opened his eyes inside your head. Lin. My chest tightened. Yeah, I saw it too. He hasn't gone, he's waiting. Fong's gaze was heavy. We have to find the sorceress. The longer we wait, the stronger he'll become. I nodded. I know, but I'm scared he'll find out. He won't let us leave. Just then, from inside the house, came a knocking sound. Thump, thump. The three of us froze. A cold gust blew through. The door creaked open on its own, revealing a pitch-black room inside. On the wall, a shadow sat hunched, long hair trailing to the floor. Mai stammered. Lin, there's someone there. I held my breath and took a step inside. A chill ran down my spine. Who's in there? No answer, only a faint hiss, like wind through bamboo. Then the shadow turned its head. A pale face, hollow eyes, a crooked smile. I stumbled back, trembling. Fong. He rushed forward, pulling me out of the house. The door slammed shut behind us, the wind howling so hard the porch roof rattled. Mai sobbed. He's back. Fong gripped my shoulders, his voice hoarse. Lin, he wants you. I won't let that happen. I grabbed his hand, tears spilling down my cheeks. Don't say that. I won't let anyone die again. But inside my head, his voice echoed, laughing. Just one more soul, and I'll be free. That afternoon, we traveled to the sorceress's home. The dirt road was rough, the forest leaning inward, swallowing what little sunlight remained. The old woman sat on her porch, hair silver white, eyes deep as if she'd already seen our fate. He hasn't left you, has he? She said slowly. I nodded, my hands trembling. He's still inside me. She sighed heavily. The curse can only be broken if someone willingly takes his place. A soul must be offered to imprison him forever. I froze. No one's dying for me. Her eyes softened with sorrow. If not, he'll take you. You'll become him, and he'll become you. Fong stood silent for a moment, then spoke quietly. Then, I'll do it. I spun around, shouting. No, Fong, don't. He gave me a faint smile. Lin, if you die, my life means nothing. I promised I'd protect you. No matter what. I shook my head, sobbing. I don't need protecting anymore. I just want us to live together. Mai cried out. You're both insane. There has to be another way. The sorceress said nothing. She handed me a small glass vial filled with gray ashes. This is soil from the sorcerer's grave. If he returns, sprinkle this into the box. But remember, it must be done with a soul inside, or he'll come back stronger. Fong took the vial, his eyes fixed on mine for a long time, warm, steady, but unbearably sad. I gripped his hand, trembling. Please, don't be foolish. I can handle this. He only whispered. No, you've suffered enough. On the way back, the forest wind cut like knives. The trees bent and groaned. Darkness fell too quickly. When we reached the house, the wooden box shook violently, the lid burst open. Black smoke poured out like a storm, slamming into the walls, swirling across the yard. Then he appeared, his body made of shadows. Eyes pale white, voice deep as breaking stone. Lin, I've come for you. I froze. The red string around my wrist burned hot. Mai screamed, hiding behind me. Fong stepped forward, standing between me and the figure. If you want her, you'll have to go through me. The spirit laughed, a dry, splintering sound. Very well, one life for another. The wind roared, the earth shook. I screamed. Fong, don't. He turned, smiling faintly, soft, like a sigh. I promised, I won't let him have you. I lunged forward, but the black smoke wrapped around my legs, dragging me back. In that instant, Fong leapt toward the box, uncorked the vial, and poured the ashes inside. A blinding flash erupted. The spirit shrieked, the smoke convulsed, spiraling like a storm. Then Fong was pulled in, his scream tearing through the air. Fong GG. I screamed until my throat burned. Blood on my hands as I clutched the box, but it was silent now. The smoke faded. The yard was empty. Fong was gone. Mai collapsed to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably. I sat motionless, staring at the box, and then I heard it, his voice. Soft, gentle, familiar. Lin, don't cry, I'm still here. Tears streamed down my face. I placed my trembling hand on the box. Yeah, I know, you're still here. The sky was pitch black. The wind had gone still. But inside me, a hollow space opened, cold and aching. I knew Fong had kept his promise. And from that moment on, I would live with the darkness that carried his name. That night, the village was utterly silent. No barking dogs, no insects, only the wind slipping through the cracks in the door, soft, steady, like someone breathing right next to my ear. I sat in the middle of the house, staring at the wooden box before me. Gray ash still smeared its lid, like dried blood stains. Mai had fallen into a deep sleep on the porch. But me, I couldn't close my eyes. I just sat there, wide awake, afraid to even blink. I slowly placed my hand on the box. It was cold, solid, but strange. I could feel a faint pulse inside, soft, rhythmic, like a heartbeat. I whispered, Fong, are you in there? No reply, only the hiss of wind sliding through the wooden slats. I pulled my hand back, heart hammering. And then, I heard it. A hoarse voice, distant, rising from somewhere deep beneath the ground. I'm here. I jumped to my feet, my lips trembling. Fong, is that really you? I'm here. Lin, don't be afraid. Tears filled my eyes as I dropped to my knees beside the box. I knew it. I knew you were still here. His voice softened, warm, familiar, just like before. I promised you, I'd never leave you. I smiled through tears, pressing my cheek against the box, trying to feel his warmth through the wood. But suddenly, another laugh echoed, warped, layered, wrong. He's not dead. I froze. Who said that? Fong's voice vanished. Instead came a scraping noise, fingernails dragging across wood. Scratch, scratch, scratch? I staggered back, my pulse racing. The box trembled slightly, and from the thin crack in the lid, black smoke began to seep out, thread-like and alive. Mai jerked awake, screaming, "Lin, the box! Look at the box!" I stepped back, eyes locked on it. The smoke twisted upward, forming a face, distorted. Eyes white, mouth stretched impossibly wide. Then the voice came, both Fong's and his asterisk. "I'm hurting, Lin. He's still inside me, ha ha ha." My whole body shook as tears streamed down my cheeks. "Fong, hold on, I'll find a way to save you." His voice grew weaker. "Don't, Lin, don't open it. If you open it, he'll escape." The smoke thickened, spilling across the room. The house shook. Dishes crashed to the floor. The oil lamp sputtered out, plunging everything into thick, suffocating dark. Mai screamed, voice breaking, "I can't take this anymore. Lin, throw it away. Throw it into the river." I clutched the box tighter, shaking my head violently. "No, Fong's inside this. He's still here." Mai grabbed my shoulders, shouting, "Wake up, Fong's gone. That thing in there, it's not him." I pushed her away, sobbing, "Shut up, you don't understand, I can hear him." Mai backed up, terrified. "Lin, he's tricking you." Her words barely left her mouth before the box burst open. A rush of black smoke exploded outward, coiling around me. I screamed, but my body wouldn't move. In my head, his voice murmured, dark and satisfied, "I told you, all I need is one loving soul." I collapsed to the floor, clutching my head. Hundreds of whispers crowded my mind. Images flashed, Fong laughing, Fong pulling me through the forest, Fong holding me in the storm. Then everything twisted, replaced by that monstrous, grinning face. "Now, it's your turn, Lin." I sobbed, choking out, "Fong, help me." And through the chaos, I heard him again, faint, fragile, but real. "I'm here, don't let him win." The box flared with white light. The spirit screamed, the black smoke bursting apart in waves. I lost consciousness, collapsing onto the floor. When I opened my eyes, morning had come. Mai lay beside me, unconscious. The house was in ruins, walls scorched, windows shattered. The box sat motionless in the middle of the floor. The black stain still marked its lid, but it no longer pulsed. I froze, reaching out with trembling fingers to touch it. Cold, empty. "Fong, where are you?" No answer, only the soft whisper of the wind outside. I held the box to my chest, staring blankly ahead. Outside, gray clouds smothered the sky. Deep down, I knew he wasn't gone for good. And when he returns, the first soul he'll come for will be mine. I don't remember how long I was unconscious. When I woke, the sun was sinking low, its red glow stretching across the damp earth. The air still smelled of smoke and burnt wood. Mai sat quietly in the corner, eyes hollow. She whispered, "Lin, we should leave this place." I nodded faintly, but my gaze stayed locked on the wooden box. It lay still, silent, like it had never trembled, never screamed. A cold gust swept through, making the lamp flicker, and then I heard it, someone calling my name. Faint, but clear. "Lin." I turned sharply. No one was there, just the door, creaking as the wind slipped through the cracks. I took a deep breath and held the box close. "I'll take you with me, Fong, one last time." Night had fallen by the time we left the village. The narrow trail led us into the sacred forest, dark and soundless, swallowing every echo. Each crunch of leaves beneath my feet twisted my stomach tighter. Mai followed behind, clutching a small oil lamp that barely glowed. "Lin, are you sure about this? People say this forest, it's haunted." I didn't answer. I just held the box tighter, afraid it might vanish. When we reached the heart of the forest, a hollow patch of ground beneath an ancient banyan tree, I stopped. The wind rose, and the leaves rustled together like whispers. I knelt and began to dig. The soil was soft and wet, reeking of decay. Mai stood back, trembling, eyes darting around. "Lin, hurry, I don't like this." I nodded, setting the box into the shallow pit. But as soon as I let go, it trembled slightly. A faint white light flickered through the cracks. My heart clenched. Fong. Then his voice came, soft, gentle, carried on the breeze. I'm here. Tears filled my eyes. I collapsed beside the grave, shaking. I'm sorry, I couldn't save you. You did the right thing. Lin, I'm leaving soon. Don't go, please. Don't be afraid. I'll always be here. Whenever the wind blows, or the rain falls, you'll hear me. I bit my lip, tears falling freely. Mai stood silently, eyes red. She whispered, Lin, it's time. Bury it. I nodded, my hands trembling as I dropped the soil, one handful at a time. With each fall, the light dimmed until it vanished completely. When the hole was filled, I planted a wildflower on top. The night wrapped around us, the cold mist clinging to my skin. I sat there for a long while, staring at the mound of earth, empty, hollow inside. Lin. I jumped. It was his voice again, distant, fading, carried by the wind. I looked up. Between the trees, a faint light hovered, then flickered out. I knew that was him. We left the forest just before dawn. The village road was the same as before, except no one laughed. No one spoke. Mai walked beside me in silence. As for me, each gust of wind made my heart tighten. Sometimes, I could almost feel a hand brush against my shoulder. Back at the old house, I packed my things. The walls and doors were stained gray with soot. The air still smelled of burnt memories. As I stepped onto the porch, the landlord's black cat stared at me. It meowed softly, then walked away. I smiled faintly. Yeah, I'm leaving too. Before closing the door, I turned back one last time. Morning light streamed in through the cracks, and dust drifted in the air, shimmering like someone's fading breath. I whispered, Goodbye, Fong. The wind stirred gently. The door creaked open, as if someone had pushed it from within, and through the breeze, a soft voice echoed, I'm still here. I smiled, tears rolling down my cheeks. Months have passed since then, and yet, every time the wind rises at night, I still hear him, faintly, but enough to make my heart ache. Mai says it's just my imagination, but I know, some things never truly fade. Sometimes, I dream. In my dreams, Fong stands in the forest, wrapped in a soft white glow, smiling that same gentle smile. He reaches out his hand, calling to me. I take a step toward him, but just as I touch him, he dissolves into mist, drifting away beneath the pale moonlight. I wake up to the sound of wind outside my window, and every time, I whisper, I miss you, Fong. The wind pauses, as if listening. Then, the curtain stirs softly. I miss you too. ... And that is where the story ends. Thank you for listening until the very end. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot and helps us create more chilling tales for you to enjoy. If you have questions or thoughts about the story, leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story from *Bong Toi Trong Dem. ***. This story is a work of horror fiction, created purely for entertainment purposes. We do not promote superstition or any dangerous actions mentioned within. Any resemblance to real persons, places, or events is purely coincidental. Thank you for supporting our channel.